My wife asked me at breakfast why I keep pretending I don't remember our daughter. The words pierced through the peaceful afternoon air like a siren. I was mortified as every head in the wedding party turned toward us. My 4-year-old son, Marcus, had just disrupted a beautiful wedding photo shoot in Riverside Park. The bride, stunning in her flowing white gown, the groom in his crisp navy suit, and their entire wedding party stopped mid-pose to stare at us with confusion and annoyance. "I'm so sorry," I called out frantically, rushing to grab Marcus. He's usually so well-behaved, but Marcus broke free and ran straight toward the wedding party, his little legs pumping across the grass. "He's the bad man." Marcus pointed directly at the photographer, a tall man with an expensive camera. "Mommy, he's the one who took me." My blood turned to ice. Marcus had been missing for 3 terrifying hours last month from this very playground. We'd found him 2 blocks away, wandering alone and confused. He'd kept talking about a nice man with a camera who'd shown him special pictures. But every time we tried to get details, he'd clam up. The police had questioned him gently, but he couldn't or wouldn't explain what had happened. The photographer's face went white. "Kid's just confused." He laughed nervously, but his hands shook as he started packing his equipment with panicked movements. "You know how kids are." "Wait," the bride said slowly, studying Marcus's face. "Sarah, didn't you say your nephew went missing from Riverside Park last month?" She turned to a bridesmaid who was now staring at Marcus with concern. The wedding party began exchanging worried glances. I noticed the photographer backing toward his white van. "Marcus," I knelt down, hands trembling on his shoulders. "Are you sure this is the man?" Marcus nodded solemnly. He showed me pictures on his camera, bad pictures of other kids, and he said if I told anyone, he would hurt you, Mommy. He said he knew where we lived. The photographer abandoned all pretense and tried to slip away. Pure maternal rage flooded through me, and I screamed for someone to call the police. The groom, an off-duty police officer, stepped forward. "Sir, I need you to stay right where you are." The photographer panicked and broke into a run, but 3 groomsmen tackled him before he could reach his van. Wedding guests scattered, some calling 911, others forming a protective circle around Marcus and me. When police arrived and searched his equipment, they found hundreds of inappropriate photos of children on multiple memory cards. The images were from various events he'd photographed over the years: weddings, birthday parties, school functions, targeting occasions where children would be present and parents distracted. The investigation revealed he'd been using his wedding photography business as perfect cover for years. He had access to family events, was trusted by parents, and could approach children without suspicion. The bride, Jennifer, hugged Marcus before we left. "Thank you for being so brave," she told him, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You helped catch a very bad person." Marcus looked up at her seriously. "Sometimes grown-ups don't listen when kids tell the truth, but you listened. You believed me." 6 months later, that photographer was sentenced to 15 years in prison. His arrest led to identifying 12 other victims who had been too scared to come forward. Marcus still has nightmares sometimes, and we're working with a child psychologist, but he knows he's a hero, and more importantly, he knows his voice matters. I've learned to always trust my instincts, and to trust when my child says something feels wrong. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths, and sometimes a disrupted wedding photo can save lives.